Hello and welcome back to the channel, boat lovers. I should say good morning, but holy moly, it's about 7 degrees Celsius. That's about 44 degrees Fahrenheit. It's been raining all night and it's wet, doomy and gloomy. But one of my friends recently called me tenacious with this boat build, and I guess that's a fit this morning because I have some gluing I want to finish off and I'm determined to get it done, rain, hail or shine. So despite the weather, the cold and the rain, I'm going to try and get stuck into it this morning. So stick around, got lots to do this week. More of getting the roof finished and working back towards the wheelhouse. So lots of fun things happening if I can brave the weather. All right, let's go. My name's Steve, and Millie the Wonder Dog and I are single-handedly building Dragonfly, a 53-foot or 16.2 metre flat-bottom wooden riverboat, specifically designed for inland and sheltered waters of the Murray River here in South Australia. Join us each week to follow the mayhem and madness that go hand in hand with one man and his dog building a massive flat-bottom wooden boat. Okay, yesterday I got some more of the cabin roof on, and I've started with the little step up that goes up above the area where you first step down into the bedroom. I've got some extra ceiling height there, so I'll spin this old camera around, and hopefully with me being perched on the top of the ladder here, I can give you a bit of a bird's eye view of what I'm up to. All right, here we go. All right, so that piece sticking up there, that is the start of the little step up of the forward cabin. Okay, so I'm on top of the bedroom roof, and this little area here is where we step down into the bedroom, but it's slightly raised. It gives a lot extra headroom and a bit of elbow room for when you're getting dressed in the morning, whatever. Got a wardrobe each side, so that's a great space. So that's what I'm working on this morning. It's freezing cold, but I think instead of talking to you, I should put the fire on and start getting this ready to go. Okay, it looks like all my gluing has gone to plan. I'll show you how that turned out. So today, I'm going to try and get a roof on this area, or at least get it prepared for the roof. So I'm hoping to get roofing on this. I'm going to put some ceiling beams in first, so I might not get the roof on today, but I'll at least get the beams in place and get everything ready. So very exciting moving forward. It's freezing cold again outside, so I'm going to get into doing some work and try and warm myself up a bit. Just got to work out the spacing of these beams, make sure I've got a decent support on this section of the cabin. The wheelhouse dashboard will sort of come out to about here, so there won't really be any weight on this section, although if there is, we've got these supports here. Got this support here from this bulkhead, but I definitely need a beam here and a beam there. I might space a couple of other ones out and just see what I think. Okay, well, mapping this out, I can see I've made a bit of a blue because this front edge here should be the same height as the center of the ceiling all the way along, but somehow I've messed that up and it's about that much too low. So the roof comes out and then points down, but it's supposed to be completely flat all the way along. So change of plan, I'll have to adjust that this morning. I think what I'll do is I'll just biscuit join an extra piece in here and along the sides to bring that up to the right height. A bit annoying, but I can't get everything right. So that's going to be my job today, which will get all this nice and level and make it easy then to put the deck over the top. I'm glad I spotted that now and not later. I haven't made too many mistakes along the way, a couple here and there, but being timber, you can always glue another bit on. While that glue is drying on the mistake I made on the deck above the bedroom area there, I might as well get stuck in and do something here. It's nearly finished in here, but I need to just put some supports across, form the shape for this deck, leaving a nice opening for an access hatch. I've got 2 shelves to put in. One of them I've got cut already, so that goes in there. Like so. I have to make one for the other side, get this all cleaned up and framed up, and then tomorrow hopefully the other area will be dry and ready to start framing up for the decking on there, and that will be that. It's almost lunchtime, but I'll get this cleaned up first, and then after lunch I'll make a proper start on it. Good morning again, boat lovers. It is another day in the boat shed, and today I'm going to try and finish framing up the forecastle, anchor well, etc. I'll turn the camera around and show you the space I'm working in. Working in there, already got one beam roughly cut to size, so I've got a bit of shaping and trimming to do. I've got one there, one here, then we'll have an access hatch and then 2 beams up to the front. So that's what I'm working on today. Hopefully I get all this framing in, and once the framing's in, I'll have to wait for a day for the glue to dry, then I can put the decking on top, leaving that open area for the hatch. And the hatch in here is going to be flush mounted, because obviously we're getting on and off the boat a lot across the bow here, and I don't want any trip hazards. Well, I'll have to find some flush mount hardware when the time comes, but also of course with a flush mounted hatch I have to make a drain channel underneath, so as any water that gets on the deck runs into the gaps, out through the channel, out through a drain hole in the side. It's been my experience that most boats that have those drain channels, they block up because the drain hose is too small a diameter and the channels aren't efficient, so I really have to put some thought into making that work efficiently. Anyway, first job, get this framing in.
I'm just stuck here in a dream. I see the water coming in. I've gotta learn how to swim. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I see the water coming in. I've gotta learn how to swim.
Okay, I've just been working on putting the framing in for this deck, as I think I showed you yesterday. But right now I'm cutting in the supports for the access hatch. So I'll show you what I'm doing with those. I'm cutting them in so the main supports are wedged in place, and then I'll glue them, but I'll just show you what I'm doing there. So some quite tricky angles there. So I've notched that in there and at the other end. So that will go in like so and be self-supporting. Okay, now I'll cut the other one in and do some gluing, and that will be it for today. Stay down, down. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. Well, I'm still working on these frames. It's going pretty well. I'll just show you where I've got a bit of a shortfall underneath the main frames, and I'm going to block those out. I'm just making some little blocks like this to notch up underneath to fill in the gaps. I'll show you what I mean. So these beams are a lot thicker than the edge running around here, so I've just made up, or starting to make up, some of these little blocks which will go up under there. I'll tidy them up, round off the edges, etc. And that's just an extra support. It's not really necessary, but it'll just add strength to each of the frames. So I've got 2, 4, 6, I've got 8 of these to make up. Get them all tidied up and glued into place, and then I can get on with putting the deck on. Okay, that was a lot fiddlier than what I expected, with all the different angles going all over the place, but I managed to do a bit of chisel work and get everything cut in. So that's all clamped now. I'm going to leave that till tomorrow to dry, and then tomorrow I should be able to put the deck on. Okay, here's where we are up to. So there's my backing blocks. They should really add a lot of strength to those decking beams. You can see I've also made a sort of triangular shaped hatch access point between those two green beams. So that's where my access hatch will go. I added the edges to the shelves. I think it's about 1:30 in the afternoon now, and I started at 9. So that's taken me all that time just to do those backing blocks. But as I say, they were really fiddly because they're just going to add so much strength. Okay, time for me to have some lunch. And this afternoon, I am not working in the boat shed, got a few other things to do. So I'll be back in here tomorrow when that glue's dry. Thanks for watching, boat lovers. I hope you enjoyed this week's video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please give us a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Millie and I will see you again in about a week's time, where you can catch up on all the progress we've made building Dragonfly. See you then.